pathetic. I mean, a government that's indulging in self-harm and implosion being run by the media, by all means, don't give up, don't reduce tax for the top end. That was nonsense. But corporation tax and things that will drive the economy, there's nothing wrong with that. And it's not about unpriced pay cuts. It's about the government being run by the media. And Liz Truss is a joke, tragically.
The government's been run by the media.
They are being run by a reaction to media, to social media, rather than having the courage. If you're going to go strong. You're supposed to be a leader. This is about leadership.
How long will Liz? She didn't need the media to tell her to do that.
No, but she's reacting to circumstances, and she's not reacting to the reality of, okay, you need to change your mind. She's, you've made decisions. If you're going to make these decisions, rather than make decisions based upon party donors that are going to give you fighting funds to win elections, make decisions in the first place that are beneficial to the country. And if you've then made those decisions, stick with them. And own them and drive them forward, not over 4 weeks of consistent media pressure about what, when, how, and why. It's laughable. You're moving to the territory you almost want to say, I tell you what, there's something I've never thought I'd hear myself say, call a general election because you don't deserve to be in power anymore.
Well, how long will she last then?
Well, it's difficult to say why she's not going to continue to last because you're in a situation where how do you take her out? How do you take her out? Now, the Tories have elected her for a variety of reasons, and some can be controversial, some can be uncontroversial. And you've now got a situation where she's got 2 years to stabilise the country, build a momentum, and to give herself an opportunity to put the Tories. They've been in power for too long now. I mean, I voted Tory and I voted Labour, but everything comes to an end, and this government are all over the place. There's no leadership. There's no courage, there's no backbone, there's no thinking, there's no in touch with the reality of what people need. They're away with themselves because a lot of them are career politicians that haven't had enough real-world experience in the last 15 years to understand what's really needed. And all they're doing is operating in a self-serving, self-perpetuating nonsense mode that helps nobody. It's awful.
If the media pushed her to call a general election then, and she calls one, you would come out and say, oh, that was the media pushing her. In other words, you'd be deceiving.
Yeah, I would say you've got to lead. You've got to lead. You've got to lead. You haven't got to. You've got to lead.
It's nothing to do with the media.
No, it is to do with pressure, and it's to do with your response to it.
Live with the pressure,
and I agree with that. But if you haven't got leaders, the challenge is the media, like they used to want to do, to pick the England manager of the football team, and then pick the team. Now they believe the Beth Rigbys and the Kay Burleys and ghastly people like that believe they can create this amount of pressure on the government that they're so weak that they'll fall over backwards. Now, of course, you're absolutely right. But the media, whether you like it or not, and sometimes I don't, is so influenced. It's such a big influence that you've got to be a really strong leader.
You need a robust media.
Simon, can you educate us then on this? So the Constitution, can they now overthrow her as the leader?
No, not really, no.
They can't do that.
They can't have a leadership challenge because they've just had one. They've just deposed a leader. So they can't move another leader out for another 12 months.
Are you sure?
No, technically can't. The 22 committee can bring forward a motion to change the position of it all. But bottom line is, we've got what we've got. But it's preposterous. It's so weak. And at a time when you need strength, it's so disappointing.
You must really regret falling over yourself to speak to Jacob Rees-Mogg the other day when he was in the office.
I didn't fall over myself to meet to talk
you did.
to Jacob Rees-Mogg.
You bounced up a desk,
weasel.
And
I said
and
to
you
him,
fell in amongst some of the bins.
What I like about him, insofar as I like anything of him, is that he will at least answer a question. He'll go on to people.
Now you're getting into the realms of ludicrous.
He'll
dialogue.
He'll go on to people like James O'Brien, who are professional contrarians, and at least have an argument from a different point of view and front up to it. You might not like his opinion, you might not like his policies.
But so many
of these guys do not answer a question, do not have an answer, and do not have any substance, and that's what's running our country.
I can't believe you're parking your tanks at on the lawns of the media this lunchtime.
I'm not parking my tanks on the media. I'm saying don't allow the media to do this. Don't be so weak. Don't be so lacking. Don't be such an invertebrate that you need to be dictated to by the nature of what you think the media are representing. I think it's poor. I wouldn't want to be a leader.
Well, if they're that brittle, they shouldn't be in.
Well, there's another different question.
Should they?
No, they shouldn't.
If they buckle to the likes of the people you've mentioned in the media, they should be nowhere near the jobs that they're doing.
No, they shouldn't. They shouldn't listen to the background noise. They should listen to the mood music at times. Yeah. They should read the mood music, and they should make decisions that are reasonable. Why in God's name would you give a tax break for above 40p at this moment in time? Maybe in the future when the economy's back on its feet, but not now.
Is this not your big chance?
It's silly.
You get a taxi down to 11 Downing Street.
It's silly stuff, and it's an act of self-harm, and the tragedy of it is that everyone else suffers.
Yeah.
And then what you'll get Labour in with the Herberts like the SNP, we'll have disarray in this country, or you'll get the Lib Dems in, we'll have a green policy, we'll have net zero being driven, and we'll all go to the dogs.
Get it right.
Wonderful.
Mick Herberts, like the
SNP.
Yes.
Anyway, back to football.